どうもエルズと申します。 F1 公式 YouTube のポッドキャストにて角田選手についての特集が組まれていました。世界から注目が集まっている角田選手についてのトーク部分を日本語訳と合わせてご紹介いたします。それではどうぞ。
At Red Bull, Yuki Tsunoda replaces Liam Lawson, who's been demoted to Racing Bulls after just 2 races. How has it come to this? And how is Yuki feeling right now? Now, Nat, we've often joked on this show that you are the president and CEO of the Yuki Tsunoda fan club. How do you think he'll deal with this opportunity?
Listen, I don't want to tempt Providence here, but I've got a good feeling. I just think he'll do something special in Japan. It's not going to be easy, though. You look at the Red Bull of last year, where they locked out the front row and they scored a 1-2. This is a very different car this time round, and we've seen just how difficult it is to drive. Liam Lawson is no slouch. He has struggled this year, but there's something about Yuki raises his game. He's never been out-qualified by a teammate at Suzuka. He scored points last year. I think he is in a good space mentally to deal with the pressure that's come in the last 12 months or so. He should have probably, arguably, had his chance much sooner than he's getting now. I think, yeah, this could well be his time.
And Lawrence, how surprised are you that Yuki's got the call-up now?
I think that if Liam hadn't qualified 20th in both sprint qualifying and qualifying in China, I don't think we'd be talking about it. It's just that a Red Bull has never qualified that low before. And I think that they could see with Liam that his confidence was so low that they had real no choice but to swap them over.
So they sacked him and made it even lower?
But I think that actually they helped him in a funny sort of way, because I think if he'd gone to Japan, where he's run really well, and he had a shocker there as well, at least if they move him out now into a Racing Bull that is performing really strongly, he could potentially have a really good weekend in Japan and kind of then firstly say to Red Bull, look, I haven't lost it. I've still got it. You know what? Liam didn't look anyone in the eye over the Chinese Grand Prix weekend. His head was down the whole time. And he was such a confident guy. I remember he was bouncing around when he got that drive for Red Bull last year. He was the happiest I think I've ever seen a young racing driver get an F1 drive. And in China, he looked broken, like actually broken. And I was worried for him.
But then what, Lawrence? Can you ever see a scenario where he could come back to Red Bull? I mean, it's never happened before, but it's not impossible.
I mean, I've talked to people at Red Bull and they say, for what it's worth, yes. But to your point, Natalie, it's never happened before and it's going to be very difficult for him to see a route back. I think now he should just focus on the fact that Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon have rebuilt their careers in Formula One. So even if he never makes it back to Red Bull, at least he had a shot. I know he didn't get very long, but there's still a chance that he can have a very strong career in Formula One. I think it was just that he just didn't get enough time to show what he can do. But Red Bull, they don't hang about, do they? They just don't hang about. I feel like he's mentally tougher. Ordinarily, when he's suffered or he's had a decision go against him, he's kind of carried that for a very long time, and I think that's had a negative input in the way that he performs on track and actually off it. Whereas this year, even on the days when, for example, the wing fell apart in China, he was on the team radio, I understand, saying to the team, don't worry guys, it's fine, rather than shouting at the team, which is probably what would have happened maybe last year. So I think mentally he is much stronger to cope with going into this team this year. And he also has that benefit of, like, Liam didn't do the job. He's got nearly 100 races under his belt and he'll go into a car and he kind of can't get it wrong. Helmut Marko has already come out and said he's got to the end of the year. I mean, frankly, who else are they going to put in that car in the middle of this year? So he's actually got the better time of it, and he's going to have an opportunity, I think, to really put his stamp on it. He's going to struggle. Like, I'm not saying he's going to go in and challenge Max straight away, but I'm confident he'll get out Q1. I'm confident that he'll have a car that will go, he'll look after the tyres well, he'll be sensible with it. I think he'll push it forward. And if he's sensible, he'll ask for Max Verstappen's exact same setup, and he'll stick with it, and he won't mess about, and he'll just try and do the best without trying to be too fiddly with things.
Now, the only caveat to that, TC, is that Suzuka is a track that demands precision. It requires a calm confidence with the car. And the big question is, will he be able to have that confidence with a car that he's never actually driven before? That we already know is a very difficult car to drive. I don't know. The other thing I would say is I think, and it's not my opinion, this is just what I've been told, that Yuki probably needs to learn how to be a good teammate. Don't always see your teammate as your sparring partner. I know naturally that's what happens, that they're the only person you can judge yourself against, but he has equally got to learn to share, and I think that will be an important part of his growth if he's to have a long-term future at Red Bull.
So I think he actually will do that at Red Bull, because I think, apart from Max, I think he does think he could beat everyone else, whereas I think he'll probably go into the Red Bull with the mindset of, look, this is Max's team, he's a reigning 4-time world champion, I've wanted this forever, so let's just be sensible. I think, Natalie, this might be the one driver that he might learn to work with.
Well, I think that maybe when you're a young driver, you feel this this urge to constantly be competitive and outperform your teammate at all costs. And actually, sometimes the smarter route is to work with them. You help each other in the process.
And Pink, there is no shame in being outqualified, outraced by Max Verstappen, and he knows that.
2 stats for you. I mentioned one earlier. Yuki has never been outqualified by a teammate at Suzuka. Max has never been outperformed in qualifying or the race at Suzuka since 2019. One of those stats is going to be broken this weekend.
いかがだったでしょうか。いやもう本当連日角田選手に関しての報道だとか、こういった YouTube 公式の特集などが組まれていまして、本当に世界中から角田選手が注目されているというのを感じますね。これだけ角田選手もそうですし、日本人ドライバーが世界から注目されたことってなかったんじゃないかなってぐらい大注目のこの鈴鹿グランプリとなりますので、本当にいい結果をどうしても期待してしまいますね。楽しみに待ちたいと思います。そして今日、スペシャルカラーリングの方も発表されまして、ホンダがパートナーシップを結ぶレッドブルと、ホンダの限定カラーということになっています。本当に昔のホンダのロゴですとか、この数字ですとかで赤と白でデザインするという、本当に往年の F1 ファンにはもうたまらないような、デザインとなりました。このマシンにまた角田選手が乗れるというこのチャンス、いや本当に素晴らしいですよね。もう本当に明日からショーランとかもありますし、ますます、楽しみが増えてきております。さらにですね、角田選手も、限定ヘルメットですね、こちらのデザインも公開されました。こちらは歌舞伎をイメージした本当に美しさとなんていうんですか、力強さが入り混じったような、本当にいいデザインだと思いますし、海外の方の方がさらにかっこいいみたいな風になるのかなって思います。監修したのが市川團十郎さんということで、一般的にはですかね、海老蔵さんの方が、名前が通ってるかと思うんですけども、また著名な方にねデザインしていただいて、国内の F1 の注目っていうのにも、さらに貢献してくれるんじゃないかなと思います。何にせよもうあと水木金とあっという間に平日が終わって週末となります。楽しみですね。こういった F1 に関する情報を、またまとめていきますので、ぜひチャンネル登録、いいねして、当チャンネルもご覧いただければと思いますので、引き続きよろしくお願いいたします。それでは。